Look at this. I found Jesus. Yes, I did. Jesus of Nazareth. You know, he's bendable too. You know, if the average Christian would just, rather than go into all that stuff about, you know, you're going to go to hell, and Jesus is so wonderful, blah, blah, blah. All they needed to really do was read the back of this thing here. He ate and drank with sinners. He called out the religious hypocrites. He drove merchants from the temple. He spoke up for the poor and the oppressed. Who was this social revolutionary who preached truth, love, and compassion in a culture filled with bigotry and intolerance? He healed the sick and raised the dead. His name was recognized and feared by demons. His metaphoric wit, perception of the heart, and wisdom amazed thousands. Yet he was despised by men, crucified on a Roman cross. He died and was buried in a cave, yet rose from the dead. He conquered sin and brings new life to man. This man is Jesus Christ. And we know all of this because a book tells us this. That's right. There's absolutely no evidence anywhere to even show this person ever existed at all. Just like there's no evidence to show that God exists. There's no evidence that any of this happened. Oh yes, the book describes this happening, but the book absolutely has no evidence that any of it actually did happen, and it doesn't You know what? I'm not going to be able to say this word. It is not corroborate. It is not corroborated. I think that's the word. Science does not agree with the Bible. Science. You know what? Okay, this is just one of those videos. History contradicts the Bible. The Bible contradicts history. They don't agree with each other. The Bible's history is something completely different than every other history, right? So according to the Bible history, this guy lived, and you know, if you don't jump through all the hoops, you're gonna go to hell. What a great religion. So anyway, I have found Jesus. Let me see if I can free him from his prison so he can again fly like Superman. Woo! Actually, we have to do this. Hang on. Okay, now we can get him to fly. Woo! Da 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 da. Yes, look, I give up. I surrender. Oh, smell my armpits. Jesus pit. Holy armpit odor right here. Okay. He's worshiping. No. Okay. No, you must. Why is he wearing red? Jesus doesn't wear red. This is stupid. Okay, so he's. Oh, look, he's posable. Oh, I can break his hands. Look. He's. Oh, yeah. We could have him scratching his parts. Hang on. Okay. Ooh, that feels really good. He's gonna get a stronger arm, and this was gonna get bigger than this one. Okay, so anyway, he is now free from his box to go out and do all these things some more that it says here on this box. You know, pretty cool, huh? Okay. So, you know what? I reject this religion. I do. I think this religion sucks because, you know what? I don't think a book is true. There's no evidence. In fact, I have found a better religion, and I'm going to, that's the point of my video. We're gonna chuck Jesus and now let my dog can chew on him for a bit here. And I'm going to describe to you a religion that I found that I think is superior, way superior than Christianity, and has just as much evidence that it's actually true as Christianity. So I'm going to present this in the next couple little clips. See the lizard? See? That's why I call this my lizard hat, because it now has a lizard. See? Because I have iguanas, so it makes sense. Okay, so Christians like to think that, you know, their belief system is the one true belief system because they have a book that says that it's true, so they'll believe it, I guess, and the book says it's true, so it must be true. And this wonderful whatever, the blind leading the blind kind of thing. Anyway, I had a dream last night, and in my dream Harry Potter came to me, and he told me to look again at his word, which is contained in, I believe there are 6 books. I could be wrong, maybe there's 7, but his word is contained in these well-written documents put together by J.K. Rowling, who I dare say is a better writer than all the anonymous writers that the church hired to write the Gospels, and Paul to rewrite what Jesus said, although Jesus didn't exist. It's just he rewrote a myth. But anyway, so Harry Potter got me to think. He told me to look again at his religion, at what he's trying to teach the world. So I gave it some serious thought, and I have to say that he's far side. Is that the right term? I think he kicks Jesus's butt, really. And since there's just as much evidence for Harry Potter and his existence as there is for Jesus' existence, I'd say that they both start out this little competition even, but I think Harry Potter pulls away from Jesus because, one, Harry Potter doesn't whip people and drive them from a temple because he's having a temper tantrum. Harry Potter doesn't curse a tree for not bearing fruit out of season. Harry Potter doesn't call any foreign women dogs, to name a few things. Jesus doesn't ever once say anything against slavery, but in Harry Potter, I believe it's the Chamber of Secrets, we are introduced to Dobby, I can't remember what kind of elf he is, but anyway, he's a little elf who is a slave, and Harry Potter makes it very clear that he is against slavery in this chapter of the Harry Potter story, whereas Jesus is actually, I think, gives further advice on how to keep a slave. So anyway, in addition to those little tidbits, there were other things that I came up with. The fact is, there's a lot of similarities and a lot of perks, but you're not threatening anybody to be tortured forever in hell if they don't believe the way you believe, which has a great deal of appeal to me. But if you're into miracles, that's one of the things that I noted right off. If you have enough belief in yourself, enough confidence in yourself, you can perform miracles just like this.
For example, Oculus Reparo. That's better, isn't it?
Or this.
Would you like me to fix it for you? Personally, I think you look a bit more devil-may-care this way, but it's up to you.
Well, have you ever fixed a nose before?
No, but I've done several toes, and how different are they really?
Okay, yeah, give it a go.
It's risky.
Ah! Oh! Oh! How do I look?
Exceptionally ordinary.
Brilliant.
Now, in the whole Harry Potter world, Dumbledore is basically the same thing as God. We know this from this little part here where we find out that Dumbledore is everywhere and he doesn't stick around in one place long because he's got so much to do.
I've got Dumbledore. I've got about 6 of him. Hey, he's gone. Well, you can't expect him to run around all day, can you?
This little bit demonstrates how Dumbledore has servants who are under him, who do his bidding.
Have you ever considered that you ask too much, that you take too much for granted? Has it ever crossed your brilliant mind that I don't want to do this anymore?
He also throws around a great deal of power, as you can see right here. And Dumbledore is, of course, stronger than his arch enemy, Voldemort, who I'm thinking is like, the equivalent of Satan. Here we have a duel, and again, Voldemort loses to Dumbledore his greater power. But Dumbledore is not the point of the story. The point of the story is Harry Potter himself, who is a great prophet of this. He's made it very clear to me in my vision that he is not, in fact, a deity of any sort at all. He's just a guy, but he is doing, Dumbledore's work on Earth. He runs the army of Dumbledore, or Dumbledore's army, and teaches the others how to be strong and stand up for themselves and defend against evil. But no better scene, in my opinion, shows the battle that Harry has to go through against evil than this scene.
You've lost, old man.
So weak, so vulnerable. Look at me. Harry, it isn't how you are like, it's how you are not.
You're the weak one, and you'll never know love or friendship. And I feel sorry for you.
then just like Jesus, Harry Potter dies. He faces his enemy and his accusers in silence and with dignity and dies. He sacrifices himself to save his friends, as you see here.
Harry? No! What are you doing here? Quiet! Harry Potter. The boy who lived. Come to die.
And he comes back. Now this scene didn't film very well. It's very, very blurry, but this is the little bit that happens after he goes to heaven and basically hobnobs with Dumbledore. Harry Potter comes back. So it doesn't even take him 3 days. Far superior to Jesus on this.
The boy. Is he dead? Is he alive? Draco, is he alive? Dead.
So there you go. I personally think Harry has a lot more finer attributes than this Jesus character. And considering they're both have absolutely no evidence whatsoever, I feel like the choice is wide open for me. If I pick something to pin a religion on or whatever, it seems to me Harry Potter's the better way to go. So yeah, I am part of the Church of Potter now, and honestly, I just think he has better qualities. You know, he saves people's lives. He's very humble. You know, when he finds out that he has this thing. Oh, that's another thing. These Horcruxes that are little bits of the bad guy all around that they go looking for and destroying. Harry finds out that he has a little piece of that in himself, and he actually battles that in himself and defeats it. And then in the end, which I think is kind of similar to Jesus going to hell and fighting and, you know, coming back, whatever. If you have to make an analogy, which I don't really see much of an analogy between Harry Potter and the Jesus story. I think the Jesus story is a tired old story that has no inspiration, nothing inspiring about it. Whereas Harry's just a kid, you know, with a very brave kid who will die for his friends. And in the end, you know, unlike Jesus, who goes back to heaven after he dies and lives in paradise and sits on his thumbs while people suffer and doesn't really seem to do anything whenever there's a huge, you know, catastrophe on Earth, doesn't seem to save very many people. Harry Potter at the end has wins the prize. He has the option to be the most powerful wizard of all. And what does he do? He breaks it in half and throws it over the bridge. So in my opinion, he's humble, and he's not craving power, and he's not craving, he has no desire to control people, whether it's out of just power or fear or whatever. He's not making anybody have to jump through hoops. He doesn't have, you know, it's not his wish to control anybody. So in my opinion, Harry Potter is the better, you know, if you're going to have something to look up to and it's a fictional character, I think Harry Potter gets my vote. So anyway, if you've been watching, thanks. Bye.
Till the other night when I disarmed Draco at Malfoy Manor.
So that means
It's mine.
what should we do with it?
We?
Just saying, that's the Elder Wand. Most powerful wand in the world. With that, we'd be invincible.
So take that, Jesus, you twit.